And welcome back. And it's the 11th of Feb today. It is the higher plus 5 a day. And let's go with the first question. Right. Oh, well, this is an interesting way of putting it, isn't it? So A to B is 7 to 8. Work out A plus 3B to 9B. Right. So I really like the way this is worded. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remember that A to B is 7 to 8 means that B is 8 times larger than A and A is 7 times larger than B. So just to explain that slightly better. So if, for example, I had A to B was 3 to 1, that would mean that A was 3 times bigger than B, which means that A equals 3B. And that's why I can write that A is equal to 7 over 8B. And I now have an equation for A in terms of B. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to put this into the second thing. So instead of writing A plus 3B, I'm going to write 7 over 8B plus 3B, I'll write the question correctly, plus 3B is equal to 9B. Now, numbers aren't very nice, but it is going to work out. Okay, let's neaten up this left-hand side. So I've got, right at the step in between, so I've got 7 eighths plus, I need to turn 3 into eighths, so that's going to give me 24 eighths, because 24 over 8 is 3, times B to the ratio of 9 to B. Now, because I can simplify ratios by dividing both sides by the same number, I can get rid of the B, in other words, cancel out the B. 24 eighths plus 7 eighths is going to give me 31 eighths, and so that's going to simplify down to 31 eighths to 9, and that's going to give me 31 to 72. Bang. Really well presented question. I really like that question. Well done if you got that question. Very nice. Next question. Sketch. Oh, okay. We've gone quite easy after very hard now. Sketch the graph of y equals cos x. Now I say easy. It's obviously only easy if you know the answer. So the key about all these questions is what happens every 90 degrees, and cos x, and let's do this properly, having said it's easy, and cos x goes from between minus 1 and minus 1 and back to 1 again. Now the key about this question, and I've just said it's easy, and I've just put the x in the wrong place, haven't I? So put the x in the correct place. Now the key about this question is it's not an up-down zigzag, it's a nice smooth curve, and the acceleration and deceleration, as we call it, you need to get correct. In other words, it's going to look something like that. Now this will be marked probably with a bit of tracing paper, check it's broadly correct, but anything that sort of shows a general curve that slopes in the right way will be okay. Next question. Okay, good. Simplify. Now, you cannot add surds unless the surds are the same. So what you're going to do is simplify this one here, which is the same as root 3 times root 25, which is the same as 5 root 3, and then you're going to hope that this one also gives you a root 3. Now this one's a tricky one because 48 sounds like 12 times 4. Well, I mean, it is 12 times 4, but it is also 16 times 3. And 16 is 4, 16 square rooted is 4, so it's just 4 root 3. So actually this is saying what's 5 root 3 plus 4 root 3? Well, 5 things plus 4 things is 9 things, and that's giving me 9 root 3. Not terrible at all. Next and final question. The cuboid. So cuboid, actually let's read the question first. The cuboid is full of liquid. Some of the liquid is poured into the cylinder. The height h of the liquid is the same in both. Okay. So what we need to do is we're going to pour some liquid from A into B such that the height of the liquid is going to be the same. So the new height of the liquid in the cuboid, how can I write this? So I'm going to write new. So the new height in the cuboid is going to be 3 times 4 times height, which gives me a volume of 12H. The new height in the cylinder, well, volume of a cylinder, is pi r squared h, where r is equal to 4. So therefore this is going to be pi times 4 squared times h, which is going to be equal to 16 pi h. And I know this total volume here, 12h plus 16 pi h, is going to be equal to the original volume, and let's write this up here, which is going to be 4 times 3 times 10, which is going to be 120 centimeters cubed. So in other words, 12h plus 16 pi h is equal to 120 centimeters cubed. I've got one equation, one unknown. I can solve this. Now the way I'm going to solve it is I'm going to take the h out of both, in other words factorize the h out, and that's going to give me 12 plus 16 pi is equal to 120, and therefore h is equal to 120 over 12 plus 16 pi. What a question to end on. Get my calculator out, and that's going to be 120. Again, use a fraction button on the calculator. It's a good button to know to use, plus 16 pi, and that's going to be 1.927231514, otherwise known as 9 point. It doesn't say how it wants it, so I'm going to write 1.93 centimeters high. Question done. These questions are getting ever better, aren't they? Well done if you got all of those. Usual thing, any comments below, let me know. I will reply to you, and do like and subscribe, please. It really does help, and actually it makes me feel a bit better, which is never a bad thing, is it? Thank you for watching. See you for the next one.